Well, 77, 78, when my sister moved to my hometown, she was with another man at this time, the man that she had mentioned earlier. About a year or so went by and he was gone. At that time, my sister had conversation with my father, saying that she had been a little late.
Paternity secrets, hidden families, DNA results that destroy everything people thought they knew. Today, 4 women sat across from men who thought they had the truth, until the truth came back something different. Mothers who kept secrets for decades, husbands who gambled everything on a single test, and results that nobody in this courtroom was prepared to hear. Let's get into it.
Mr. Lovett, you say Ms. Jackson is a manipulative cheater who has flaunted her flings in front of you during your relationship, and you say her affairs have caused you to doubt that you fathered her 15-month-old son, Corey Jr. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Corey Lovett and Autrice Jackson had a relationship built on mutual distrust from the very start. He was talking to other women. She knew it. She started talking to other guys. He knew that too. And now there was a 15-month-old son caught in the middle of all of it, and nobody was willing to claim the situation they had both created.
You get a new phone.
I see a little bird on the top of my phone. Like, what this bird doing? No,
Your Honor, he's
so
been
I find the
proven.
tracking device and now I delete
He's
it.
been proven to be
And
not
days
loyal.
go by, another tracking device on my phone.
She had put tracking software on his phone, not once, but repeatedly. He'd find the app, delete it, and within days a new icon would appear again, a small bird at the top of the screen. She wasn't denying it. She said she had no choice because she simply couldn't trust him, and Lovett had stopped bothering to argue the point.
He had just
That's
been
the
cutting
house
my
I
grass.
painted, took my
He
time
was
with
sitting
it
on the back of the
to
truck
find
having a
out
cold
your
drink.
ex.
If he would have cut the grass when he was there a couple days ago, another guy wouldn't have to.
Cut the grass, you need to be worried about bills.
She had an explanation for every accusation, a man sitting on a truck with a cold drink after cutting the grass. But Lovett had kept score, and Judge Lake was about to push past the surface. You can't get pregnant from someone cutting grass. So what was actually going on when Corey Jr. was conceived? That was the question the whole room needed answered.
Leads you to doubt
Yes.
that Corey Jr.
Because he's seen
is
another
your
man
child.
cutting my grass.
Was there anything else going on? You can't get pregnant by somebody cutting the grass. Why don't you think Corey Jr. is your son?
And there it was, not the tracking apps, not the grass cutter or the Facebook messages. There was a third man, someone Jackson had been seeing during one of their breakups, right around the time Corey Jr. would have been conceived. Lovett had been sitting on that suspicion for 15 months and had never directly said it until Judge Lake asked.
She got whatever was you doing with her marriage, she got pregnant again by another guy. And then you turn around and get pregnant by me.
What he's trying to
Every
say
year
is,
since you've been 18,
I already had a child
baby,
between
baby,
marriage
baby, baby.
before him.
So when you first got pregnant,
I would have been divorced.
Autrice Jackson wasn't just in a complicated situation with Lovett. She was legally still someone else's wife, married to a man named Terrace Coleman. And Judge Lake had not only heard about him, she had already reached out. He was in the courthouse right now, and he was about to walk into the courtroom and take a seat across from everyone.
joining us today, Mr. Coleman.
How you doing?
Very well, thank you. How long have you been married to Miss Jackson?
6 years.
6 years.
Separated for 4 years.
In your mind, is there any chance you are Corey Jr.'s biological father?
No, Your Honor.
Judge Lake then explained a legal trap none of them had fully grasped. Under family law, any child born during a marriage is presumed to be the husband's. If Jackson and Coleman divorced today without a signed affidavit on each child, Coleman could be held legally responsible for child support on all of Jackson's children, including every child that wasn't his.
When it comes to 1-year-old Corey Lovett Jr., it has been determined by court, Mr. Coleman, you are not his father.
Two men tested, both excluded. Corey Jr. had no confirmed father in that courtroom. Jackson was not prepared for that outcome. She had been telling a third man for months that the child wasn't his. Now she had to go back and make that call. But Judge Lake wasn't done. The day had one more result waiting in the envelope.
I already
Shut
knew.
up.
I already knew this guy.
What up? He ain't did nothing for your kids, ain't gonna do nothing for your kids.
I know this is hard for you, and I know
Yes, I don't even-
Oh my God.
the DNA doesn't lie.
Oh my
It
God.
gives clarity.
Lovett and Jackson also had a 2-month-old daughter together named Ariel. Without announcing it in advance, Judge Lake had already ordered a DNA test for her as well. Jackson didn't understand how that was possible. She said the timing was completely off, but the test had already been run. The results were already prepared. They were already in the room.
What are you gonna do?
I don't know.
the other gentleman, does he want to be a part of Corey's life?
He wanted to at first, but I kept telling him that it wasn't his, because the dates didn't add up.
Well, you're gonna need to call him back. Listen.
One child confirmed his, one child with no father established anywhere, and a third man somewhere who still needed a phone call he wasn't expecting to receive. The chaos here didn't come from nowhere. It was years of broken trust and circular breakups between two people who kept finding their way back to each other without ever fixing what kept breaking them apart. Moving on.
Is not your biological father, and the defendant is. Ms. Cooper, you say you held the secret for just too long, and you felt your son deserved to know that Mr. Newby is his father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
34 years. That is how long this secret had been kept. Not a decade, not 2 decades, 3.5. Duntai Cooper grew up his entire life believing one man was his biological father. And then the phone rang at 3 o'clock in the morning, and his mother's voice on the other end dismantled everything he thought he knew about himself.
Who did you tell?
That's another thing, Your Honor. I didn't know I was pregnant. I didn't know I was pregnant until I was 5 months pregnant. I didn't know what pregnancy was. And then I had a teenage friend that was pregnant also at the time. And she was kind of the one that told me that.
She didn't know she was pregnant because she didn't know what pregnancy was. A teenage friend was the one who pointed it out. And when the truth finally started to surface, she made a choice rooted in fear. The fear that telling the truth would cost her someone she cared about. That fear outlasted the friendship. It outlasted the childhood. It lasted 34 years.
Like out here a friend that I went to a dance with, and she just knew me and Mr. Newby to be just as friends, but this other guy I went to the dance with, she just assumed that he was the father, and that's what she said it, and that's what it was.
She said it and you did not.
Her mother assumed it and said it out loud, and Lesia let it stand. She didn't directly lie, she just stayed silent. And that silence became the official story. That name, that other boy from the school dance, became the identity Duntai Cooper carried for his entire life. A name that was never confirmed, just assumed once and never challenged.
And so you had not seen her, heard anything about Dante, Mr. Cooper, the whole life?
Not one
Until
word.
you get this message on Facebook?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
You submitted that message to the court. This message says, you know what I gotta tell you, some real life.
Newby got the news the same way millions of people receive life-changing information now, through a social media message. A notification appeared on Facebook, a photo of a man he had never met. The message said, "This is your child, real talk." He had moved away as a teenager, never saw her pregnant, and never once knew the child existed until that moment.
My family members exactly that right there, and asked them what did they think.
And what did they say?
Everybody said he looks like you.
It's interesting, you all both have that toothpick sitting out the side of your mouth.
That's what I'm laughing at.
Well, I say that because my father does.
The toothpick stopped the room. The same habit, the same side of the mouth. On two men who had never once been in the same place before that courtroom. Judge Lake had seen enough families walk through her court to recognize what genetic inheritance looks like in motion. But beneath the laughter, something heavier was already building. Cooper's childhood had not been a good one.
Yes, he had a good role model.
But you still say there were moments when you'd look at your son and you say, I wish I could find Mr.
Yes.
And let's be clear, back then when Mr. Cooper was 10 years old, there was no Facebook.
No, it wasn't.
So these ways that we can so readily find people now, you had none of that.
No.
You didn't even have cell phone back then.
And that's when Newby said the quietest, most devastating line in the segment. Lesia had just finished explaining that Duntai had her father, her brother. He had men in his life who showed up, and Newby cut in without raising his voice. But he didn't have me. He didn't say it as an accusation. He said it the way a person speaks when they are grieving something they cannot get back.
Stan.
When I think about it,
Mr. Cooper, when you hear Mr. Newby talk about the things he feels like you missed, what do you feel?
I really don't know how to feel about the situation. I mean, I feel his pain, you know, me being a father, you know what I'm saying? I can relate to the Miss House situation, but me not having a father, so it really don't.
Before the result, Newby's daughter Lindsay took the stand. She said she didn't know yet if Cooper was her brother, but if he was, the family had already decided they would accept him and move forward together. Newby said it plainly, "We build from this point forward, that's all we can do." Cooper said it felt good just to hear those words. Then Judge Lake picked up the envelope.
In the case of Cooper versus Newby, when it comes to 34-year-old Dante Cooper, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Newby, you are not the father.
After 34 years, after the toothpick moment and the shared laugh, after Newbie wept in that courtroom over his own father and the grandfather Duntai Cooper never got to know, the test came back negative, and Licia's hesitation when asked who the real father is told the rest of the story. One secret had been covering another one the whole time. Next up,
Ms. Sams, you're here today requesting that this court grant you a paternity test to prove that the defendant, Mr. Doris, the man who is on your birth certificate, is not your biological father.
That's correct.
Mr. Doris, you say
Ronnie Doris kept coming back to the same thing. He was in that hospital room. He watched her take her first breath. He signed the birth certificate. He had brought the photos with him to court. And now his daughter, 36 years old, was standing across from him saying that none of that was proof of what he believed it proved.
Well, Your Honor, in 2009, I believe, I went and had a family function with my mother's side of the family. I was speaking with my uncles, and my uncle said to me, "How's your daddy doing since he got out of prison?" So I said,
That was the moment that couldn't be walked back. Not a full confession, just a crack in the door. A mother's last words pointing towards something she had never fully said out loud while she was alive. Why would a mother tell her daughter to get tested if the answer was already settled? Diane had been carrying that question with her for years, and it had never stopped weighing on her.
not exactly. When my sister and I were both pregnant at the exact same time, we were making comments back and forth to my mom because of blood work that had happened. Our lab work was done about the same time, and there were factors in one of our pregnancies that would typically only...
Every inconsistency made the doubt harder to ignore. He was off by nearly 2 years on his own wedding date. She also had the divorce decree from her mother's previous marriage, which wasn't finalized until April 1979, which meant the timeline of who her mother was with and when was suddenly much more complicated than Doris had been remembering it.
No doubt in my mind.
you get very emotional when Miss Sams begins to talk about her doubt.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm entitled to my feelings as well, and I'm entitled to the facts. And I need to know this. I need to know this. For me, I need to know. That's why I need your help. I need you to help me.
This wasn't only about identity. Diane needed her genetic history for medical reasons, for herself, for her cousins, for her children. She had been diagnosed with a serious autoimmune condition 10 years later than her doctors said she should have been. People in her extended family might be carrying the same condition without knowing. The stakes had moved well past emotion into something urgent.
Say, did you not just see an amended document?
I know I was there when you was born, and I know what she told me, she was not sleeping with anyone else.
Your mom told him there was no one else. It's just all he knows. It's the information he has. I want to hear from your witness, though.
Okay.
Please stand, sir, and state your name.
David Wayne Hooper.
Mr. Hooper, you are Miss Sams.
After her mother's death, Diane had cleaned out the house and found a document. The state of California had issued new certified copies of an amended birth certificate in 1980, 1 year after Diane was born. Her mother had filed the amendment and never told Doris. He found out in court. Whether it was a clerical fix or something deliberate, it changed the weight of everything.
And is that during the time when she was with this other gentleman? You knew her to be with this other...
This is right after he had gone to jail.
The other man would have been in prison when I was born, okay? However, he was not incarcerated during the time that I would have been conceived. That's the only thing he and I can come up with because nobody's ever told me.
Doris still believed going into that waiting room. He said so clearly, and it wasn't performance. He had believed it for 36 years. Diane said she genuinely hoped he was her father. She could not set aside what her mother had left behind in that house. The test was ordered. Both submitted, and then they came back to the courtroom to hear what the science said.
In the case of Sam versus Doris, when it comes to 36-year-old Diane Sams, it has been determined by this court. Doris, you are not father. I'm so very sorry.
She knew, and yet hearing it confirmed out loud broke her in a way that just knowing hadn't, because those are two different things. The man who had been her father in every way that counted, who was at the hospital, who raised her, who brought her photos to court, just learned that he wasn't her biological father, and she was still standing there, holding his hand.
But when I went to read those results and I got that envelope, he held the picture of you and him up to his heart, facing forward. I have never seen a father.
He loves me.
He loves you.
I know he loves me.
And in his mind, in his heart, you're his little girl. And look, you're holding his hand in this moment because you're there for him. And he's been there for you. That's what's important.
The DNA said one thing. What happened in that room said something else entirely. Ronnie Doris had held her childhood photograph to his heart while the results were being read, not turned inward, but facing outward toward the room. Judge Lake said she had never seen a father do that before. One more case after this one, and unlike the others, it ends differently.
Mr. Coleman, you say your 7-year marriage is on the rocks because you claim to have proof your wife cheated and is pregnant by another man. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
You say you will ask for a divorce when the results prove your case.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Coleman, you say you know your husband is your unborn child's father and hope your husband.
This case had more at stake than most. Mark Coleman and Shaniqua had built a life together out of one of the most unlikely starting points imaginable. They met while both of them were in active addiction. He was newly clean when they crossed paths. She was still using and already 3 months pregnant by someone else, and he decided to step up anyway, before he had any reason to.
That how it happened?
Yes, Your Honor. When I first met him, I was 3 months pregnant, and we were in addiction. Now, being that I didn't want to feel anything and I didn't deem myself worthy of anything, the things that he was saying to me like brought the connection. You know, like he would tell me, you don't have to do what you're doing.
He made her feel like she was worth something at a time when she didn't believe it herself. That is what the marriage was built on. Not a long history or family approval, just two people deep in addiction, and one of them deciding to reach out a hand. Now, years later and 2 recoveries in, another pregnancy had put everything they had built together at risk.
I'm coming up on 2 years.
That's wonderful. Congratulations. And so you saw that your wife was still struggling.
Yes.
And you were trying to help her
Yes.
get clean as well.
Yes.
Have you been clean as well, Ms. Coleman, for a while?
For 10 months.
Very good. Very good. At some point, you realize you're pregnant and it's within the marriage.
Shaniqua had her explanation. She said when she got out of detox and went to the doctor, the STD was still there, but not because she'd contracted it from someone else. The original infection from her time on the streets had never been properly treated. To Coleman, it looked like new evidence. To her, it was old history that wouldn't clear.
We be on the bus stop sometimes and I'll see guys trying to pick her up and she would make comments like, I can't go right now. Right there, that's like, what you mean you can't go right now? I was looking for you saying, hey, don't come to me like that. You know what I'm saying? That was like, man, a big shocker to me.
And let's be clear, Ms. Coleman, we understand that as he talks about these situations, we know
He hadn't said it directly to her. He had carried the doubt quietly all the way through the pregnancy, watching, weighing incidents, adding things up. Then one day he suggested they come on paternity court. That was how she found out he had been doubting her the whole time. She had called him with news about a baby. He had answered by requesting a paternity test.
So you were offended when he suggested to you that he wanted to appear before me in this courtroom, because until then you weren't aware that he had any doubt as to the paternity.
Yeah,
Let me ask you
this. We only had sex like one time, you know.
Well, it only takes once, Mr. Coleman, let's be clear. But you find out you're pregnant, so you think you calling with good news, family news.
Yeah.
With everything on the line, a 7-year marriage, sobriety for both of them, 4 children already in the house, and an unborn baby, Judge Lake made an unusual decision. Before she read the results, she brought in an outside expert. Her specific concern was not about the marriage. It was about whether either of these two people could withstand the outcome without relapsing.
I think you will help things by giving them these results. I think this pregnancy has already destabilized their recovery. And you've connected the dots here. It's not just a family, children that are at risk here. These two, their lives are at risk. They have a life-threatening condition called addiction. Mr. Coleman has been quite serious about his recovery. He's 2 years now. I believe he's living in a sober living. So that's...
Dr. Drew had said the thing that needed saying. The issue was not just a marriage. It was 2 people with a life-threatening condition under enormous emotional strain, about to hear a result that could go either way. He urged both to lean on sponsors and 12-step support for free, available to them right now. Then Judge Lake asked Shaniqua if there was something she needed to say to her husband before the results.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics, and they read as follows. Now, in order for us to determine paternity, a prenatal DNA test was performed. A blood sample was drawn from the mother, and fetal DNA was isolated from that sample. Genetic analysis was performed, and a probability of paternity was generated.
He is the father. 7 years together, 2 recoveries, and a result that gave them something solid to hold on to. Coleman didn't raise his voice. He didn't celebrate loudly. He just went still. The stillness of someone who had been bracing themselves for a very long time and had finally been allowed to exhale. Well, that brings us to the end of today's compilation. 4 cases, 4 families who couldn't outrun the truth. Lovett and Jackson, 2 negative results, 1 call still to make. Cooper and Newbie, a 34-year secret hiding another underneath. Diane Sams, the man who raised her still considers her his little girl. The Colemans, a positive result that kept a family together. Drop a comment with which case hit hardest. Subscribe for more every week.
You in the room. You let that happen.
And I can't control that because she's
if that's
a grown
your friend,
woman.
you could have called me.
That's a grown
you know
woman.
me.
I can't tell nobody what not to do and what to do.
But it's at your house.
Like we not
it's at your house.
When you gotta pay daycare, you gotta daycare. But what you said was you was gonna help me with her. You said you was gonna help. Yes, you did. If I get a DNA test, you know, so I give you a discount of $50 a week that I will watch her.
Imagine walking into paternity court with a marriage hanging by a thread and a 3-year-old caught in the middle. Mr. Singleton says his wife, Mrs. Gray, told him during a blow-up that Ariana might not be his, and if that's true, he's out. Ms. Gray admits she's not sure either, and today's the day the truth lands. Tension already simmering, Judge Lake opens the floor. Drama overload. Roll the first clip.
Mr. Singleton, you claim that your wife, the defendant, Ms. Gray, has never been honest with you about the child she claims is your daughter. During a heated argument, you claim she told you that you may not be the father of 3-year-old Ariana.
Right away, the court frames the stakes. A marriage versus a potential betrayal. As Mr. Singleton starts, you can hear that tight, shaky calm, the kind you get before a storm. I mean, just look at his posture. He's bracing. Judge Lake asks how he learned Ariana might not be his, and we slide into the argument that started it all.
You also desperately want today's results to know if you and your husband can have a future together. Now, Mr. Singleton, how did you find out your daughter may not be yours?
Here it comes. Ms. Gray says he cheated first. He fires back that she ran straight to her ex. The back and forth is instant ping pong. We weren't together. Versus, that's still wrong. You could cut the tension with a knife. Judge Lake clarifies. So, cheating before the marriage? Both nodding. Talk about messy.
She claims to not be cheating, but what I'm saying is that we had an argument. She immediately went to it. Like, there was no question of it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
what was I supposed to do?
What were you supposed to do? We just had an argument. That don't mean you gotta go
and
you
were
mess with your
I went through
friend,
your phone
quote
records,
unquote.
and I found you were talking to females 3 o'clock in the morning.
Now the receipts, late night messages, 3 a.m. phone calls. Yup, she brought receipts. Ms. Gray admits she went to her ex, and no protection. The room does that collective, oh, inhale. I mean, just look at his face. His reaction says it all. The stakes shoot up instantly.
I cheated many a times. I'm not gonna lie and sit up here and lie to the judge or lie to you or anybody and say I didn't cheat. But I'm gonna tell you one thing, I certainly didn't have nobody calling me about no babies.
So at some point, despite all this cheating, you get back together.
Yes.
Even after all that, they got back together. Mr. Singleton shares the moment Mrs. Gray called from the doctor's office. He's promising to change, imagining a family, and then she drops, "It's not yours." That whiplash? Brutal, heartbreaking stuff.
I told him, I said, I was with my ex, and it's a possibility she may not be yours.
You laid it all on the table.
Oh, no. You didn't say it was no. You said, I had sex with my ex. We did not use protection, and I'm telling you, it's not yours. I don't want you around.
I wanted something new.
Name the baby after
so now you...
Ms. Gray tries to soften it. It's a possibility, but Mr. Singleton insists she said it flat out. She had sex with her ex, no protection, and it's not yours. Judge Lake confirms, you told him straight up. Ms. Gray says yes. Whew, drama at its finest, folks.
You told him straight up.
Yes.
This baby's not yours.
I told him. I believe the only reason why we're here today is so he can get a way out. All of a sudden, he wants to get a DNA test.
Well, Ms. Gray, when you look at a man and tell him the baby is not his.
Judge Lake lays it out. Tell a man the child isn't his, and you plant a giant D for doubt. You can almost see the word hovering in neon. Ms. Gray argues she wanted a pass because he cheated. Judge Lake is not buying it. Can anyone else feel the tension rising here?
He's gonna always hold that in the back of his mind.
I understand understand, but I thought he was different. He wasn't, I'm used to dating thugs. I'm not used to dating good guys with the glasses and the good job. I'm used to going after guys that hustling, and that's what I like. My ex is in jail right now.
Then the twist, Ms. Gray says she thought he was different. She usually dates thugs, not glasses and a good job. Judge Lake drops a life tip. Go for the glasses. Even Mr. Singleton says thank you. The courtroom actually exhale laughs for a second.
After telling you the baby was not yours, she had to have told you that the baby was yours.
Exactly. Your
When
Honor.
did this happen?
The guy went to jail. So then all of a sudden, here come the news story. Oh, well, it's your baby. I added the months up right, and this is actually your baby.
And we're back to the timeline whiplash. According to Mr. Singleton, the story flipped when the ex went to jail. Suddenly, Mrs. Gray added the months up and said Ariana was his. His face? Pure skepticism. Things got rocky quickly.
The same way I felt when she initially called is the same way I felt when she told me that it was mine.
Okay, but while you're trying to sit up here and make me look like the bad person.
'Cause you
why-
are?
What about all the pictures and how you were calling other girls nicknames, and what about that?
You know,
you
people
cheating.
do that.
You're supposed to be at work.
Yeah, but
and you're on the phone at 3 o'clock in the morning
Hey,
talking to females.
Judge Lake digs into Mr. Singleton's stand-up guy image. Then Mrs. Gray fires back with kinky parties, flirty pics, and more. The word congruent even makes a cameo, and Judge Lake's like, not with these parties. I mean, just look at that reaction.
Yeah, she loves him, so I don't even know why he's putting us through this.
Because when the baby came out, I had to have 50 million people come up and ask me a lot of questions.
Just because she's
why she
light-skinned?
looked like that. I even had to go and look up on to see different genetics to make sure.
Enter Ms. Simmons, Ms. Gray's sister, and she is ready. She calls him a habitual liar and describes a party where a stripper was literally on top of him. The courtroom goes wide eyes. Judge Lake, that's not a party. Drama overload.
Hello, Miss Simmons. Thank you for joining us. What do you know about this situation?
Okay, first off, he is a habitual liar, okay?
Seriously?
For one, before he got married, we worked together, and he was flirting with the girls and all in front of me like he just didn't care. And that was my issue. Have
At the
some
warehouse.
respect, especially when this is my sister.
It gets even spicier. Booty all in his face, pouring liquor. Ms. Simmons gives details, and Mr. Singleton shrugs it off like it's a party. Judge Lake is not amused. If looks could file motions. The credibility train is wobbling now.
No underwears, no bra, all in his
It's
face.
a party though. I mean,
Come
come
on.
on.
That's not a party.
party.
That's not a party. That's
a
not a
party.
party. That's a striptease.
Like,
Mr. Singleton.
Oh,
I must be old because I haven't been to one of those parties. I've never been to one of those.
Time to land the plane. Judge Lake asks what Ms. Gray truly wants. Through tears, Ms. Gray says she loves him and wants him to be Ariana's dad. The rawness hits hard. You could hear a pin drop. Heartbreaking stuff.
Now, Miss Gray, what do you want for today?
I want him to be her dad. I want to be with him. I love him. Otherwise, I mean, I would have never went this far. I know it's a possibility, and that's why I told him that it's a possibility. But I mean, it's that easy for him to just give his ring up then, I guess.
Cue the drum roll. The envelope comes out. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics. You can feel both of them holding their breath. Judge Lake reads, Mr. Singleton.
These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics. They read as follows. In the case of Singleton versus Gray, when it comes to baby Ariana Wallace, Mr. Singleton, you are not.
Imagine getting your engagement ring taken back, pawned, and your wedding canceled. Oh, and your fiancé says your male best friend might be the real dad. That's Ms. Russell versus Mr. Shepard, and the stakes are sky high over baby Armani. Denial, jealousy, and a whole lot of receipts. Drama overload already. All right, let's roll the first clip and watch the tension begin to simmer.
Ms. Russell, you claim that Mr. Shepard has been denying the paternity of your 10-month-old daughter, Armani.
Yes.
You say he even took back your engagement ring, pawned it, and called off your wedding.
Yes, ma'am.
Judge Lake lays it out. Ms. Russell says Shepard is Armani's father. Shepard says she cheated with her best friend and even claims her mom said she was unfaithful. He's so confident he's already planning to kick everybody out if he's not the dad. Like, the audacity. Can anyone else feel the temperature in the room rising?
Why exactly did Mr. Shepard call off your engagement?
Because he controlling. He accused me of cheating, and he know I never cheated on him. Never. Out of the whole 4 years we've been together, I've been engaged to him for 3 years.
We get the story of the infamous trip to the store. It's Texas hot. She walks 4 blocks and takes an hour and 30 minutes. He's grilling her the second she returns. Boom, instant argument. She packs up and heads to her cousin's. Things got rocky quickly. I mean, just look at his face. He's convinced that walk turned into a whole secret date.
We broke up after that, and she went to her cousin's house. Like, really, this how it happened. When she came back, I had told her, I asked her, like, what took you so long? So she started getting defensive. So when she got defensive, she started packing her bags and took my son with her to her cousin's house.
Now the best friend bomb drops. A call comes in. He answers and hears wild claims. Ms. Russell says that friend was protective, basically like a brother, and that's why she cut him off. Shepard isn't buying it for a second. The awkward is heavy. You could cut this tension with a knife.
A guy called the phone.
My best friend, Your Honor.
He called the phone talking about, she don't want to. She having sex with me. She don't want to. She having sex with me.
And so wait a minute now. So you're there when he answers your phone, obviously.
I told him to answer the phone. If I was cheating.
Ms. Russell swears up and down she never messed with the best friend. She paints a picture of someone who supported her like family when she had no one. Meanwhile, Shepard's like, why you need a best friend when you got me? Sir, that's not how friendships work. Talk about messy.
He wasn't calling me. I didn't speak to him no more because I chose my family.
Now look, Ms. Russell, I must ask, this best friend thing, are you sure?
They separate. He claims she dodged calls. She says he begged her to come back. He pops up to get his son out of that environment. I mean, who else felt that shift? It's giving tug of war over trust, and honestly, over control. The body language here is yelling louder than the words.
Well, really, like, he kept calling me, begging me to come home, and I told him
when I was calling her, she wasn't answering the phone.
Yes, I was.
I was texting her, she didn't answer the phone
God, yes,
nothing.
I was.
I had to pop up over there just to go get my son out that environment.
Now we hit the core doubt, timing, trust, and a pregnancy that landed right in the middle of suspicion. Shepard says the conception window has him side-eyeing everything. Ms. Russell is firm. That's your baby. Can someone pass the popcorn? This is escalating beautifully in the worst way.
You also felt like during this time she was cheating and she may have gotten pregnant during this time.
Yeah, she got pregnant a week later. Wait, a week later she come back to me talking about she pregnant. How you could be pregnant?
Witness time. The energy in the courtroom flips the second outside voices step in. Past drama is dragged into the spotlight. Who denied whom? Who disappeared? Who supported whom? You can almost feel both sides gearing up for I told you so. Drama at its finest, folks.
That you claim her mother has told you that she cheated on you.
One time, I told her mother to help clean up the house because she was like to lay around and stuff. So she got mad and started telling me, that's why it's not your baby.
More witness testimony. Now it's about character, loyalty, consistency, who was actually present. The phrases, she's been unfaithful, and he wasn't treating her right, get tossed like frisbees. I mean, just look at those reaction shots. Every sentence lands like a mini verdict.
He had his mother to come to the hospital to prove to him that that was his son.
Okay, hold on one second. Since we're talking about the mothers here, I'd like to hear from them personally.
Ms. Russell's mom's perspective surfaces through testimony about behavior and beliefs. Is Armani Shepard's child or not? Even the way people say each other's names is spicy. You know that tight, polite tone that's actually not polite at all? Yeah, that.
Your Honor, Gina has been cheating on Ernest. And I have witnessed it. I have witnessed it, and I don't believe that Armani is.
We circle back to the relationship dynamic. Support, presence, and a whole lot of you weren't there versus yes, I was. Ms. Russell insists she's a good woman who wanted her family. Shepard's posture screams, I don't trust any of this. Anyone else exhausted on their behalf?
She don't like him, so
well,
she gonna
thank you
break
so
us
much.
up.
You may be seated.
Thank you.
Ma'am, if you please state your name and your relationship to this
Hi.
family. Hello.
I'm Verlene Shepard, and Ernest Shepard is my son. And those two are crazy.
You are his mother.
Yes.
Receipts time. Who paid, who helped, who did nothing. Ms. Russell says he did nada. He deflects to the clock and the calendar. The courtroom is basically a scoreboard right now. Every line feels like a point for one side or the other.
I really need to understand what happened when you got pregnant.
When I got pregnant.
Did he show support?
He didn't do nothing. One day we at the hospital. I'm at my doctor's appointment. The doctor showing us the ultrasound on my.
Judge Lake presses the timeline. The more specific the dates get, the sweatier the vibes. Shepard keeps insisting the math ain't mathing. Ms. Russell doubles down that he's Armani's dad. You can feel the countdown forming because here comes a curveball.
So I'm trying to find out before anything, all that happened. I want to know the truth. I want to know if that's my child.
So you go
But a good man would take care of her, no matter
I understand that, but I got thousands though. I don't want to be in a relationship that's a lie.
Your Honor.
Cue the drum roll. Lie detector time. Judge Lake is methodical, Shepard is bracing, and Ms. Russell is laser focused.
Me in the past, I was in a relationship and I was supposed to have a child with another female, but found out it wasn't my child.
So you said in this situation, you're not going to create any attachment because you're not going to get played.
Lie detector results are in. Ms. Russell told the truth about not cheating during the relationship window. I mean, just look at that reaction. Shepard's face does the slow blink of, wait, huh? That's a narrative shift if I've ever seen one.
I ain't never cheated on him.
The lie detector test don't lie.
I ain't never cheated on him, Your Honor. I'm telling the truth. I'm telling the truth.
Mr. Shepard, how do you feel about those lie detector results?
I mean, I feel bad, but I'm really more concerned about the DNA right now.
Despite the truth result, the bickering doesn't stop. Old messages, old assumptions, and new reality clash right in the middle of the courtroom. You can almost hear the audience thinking, okay then, DNA time?
Have you ever had sexual intercourse with any other man during your relationship with Mr. Shepard? You answered no. No. The lie detector determined.
Here we go, the paternity results. Judge Lake opens the envelope in the case of Russell versus Shepard. The room freezes. Ms. Russell leans forward. Shepard is locked in. Cue the drum roll.
In the case of Russell versus Shepard, when it comes to 10-month-old Armani, Mr. Shepard, you are the father.
DNA reveal. Judge Lake announces the results, and the emotional whiplash is instant. Faces tell the whole story in one frame. Heartbreaking stuff, and also a release.
Who would, I'm sure, love the opportunity to be a family with their mother and their father together. Mr. Shepard, can you move forward?
Yes, I can move forward. There's no problem with me because, I ain't perfect. I haven't been a perfect fiance.
You know it's about to get wild when the words reality star and paternity test end up in the same sentence. Today, Ms. Woodbury, a TV personality with a social media empire, is in court to prove her fiancé, Mr. Cage, is the father of her 1-year-old son, Lexington. But this isn't just about DNA. It's about rumors, trust, and who's been sliding into whose DMs.
Ms. Woodbury, you claim you are 110% certain that your fiancé, Mr. Cage, is the father of your 1-year-old son, Lexington.
Ms. Woodbury starts the hearing with confidence. I know 110% he's the father. She's calm, but her eyes tell you she's exhausted from defending herself online. Judge Lake nods, but you can tell she's already reading between the Instagram filters.
The many rumors that came from friends and others on social media. You are hoping today's results will prove you are the father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor. The public persona comes up fast. Judge Lake says she's seen Ms. Woodbury's fun, carefree, sexy TV side. But Ms. Woodbury insists that's just for entertainment. I'm not that girl, she says.
So let's be completely honest. Your public persona, often you're portrayed as a girl that's fun, carefree, living life, sexy, fun. So this entire image, you believe, is now almost kind of backfired in that these people expect you to be something you're saying you're not.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now Mr. Cage shares how they met. She hit me up on Instagram after seeing my friend on Snapchat. He laughs. These modern love stories really do end up in paternity court.
I didn't get with her because of her persona. I got with her because of the person she was. When I first met her, she hit me up on Instagram through a Snapchat from a friend that she saw. And she was just like, hey, I have an event. I want you to come out. I want you to hang out with me and some of my friends.
You can't bring your friend.
But you can't bring your friend.
She invited him to an event, told him he could come, but not bring his friend. They meet, they vibe, and next thing you know, they're heading back to her place. Judge Lake leans forward. Were you intimate that night? Ms. Woodbury says yes. Unprotected.
So what does that mean? So you do the walkthrough.
Yeah.
I invited him back home, and then he didn't leave after that. He stayed.
Well, this was the thing.
So what you're saying is you went back to your place and you all were intimate on the first night?
Yes.
Yes.
Judge Lake's face says everything, so we start off irresponsible. Ms. Woodbury chuckles nervously. Mr. Cage admits they didn't become official right away.
So were you out there there, Miss Woodbury? Tell the truth. What was going on?
Then I wasn't sleeping around. I was having fun. I'm 21. I'm having fun. I'm going out dancing. I'm partying. Yeah, I'm partying.
Okay, but if we're being honest,
Friends' opinions start flying. Mr. Cage says even her co-stars warned him. Mrs. Woodbury fires back. I'm 21. I party, but I wasn't sleeping around. The tension is thick.
You probably did it before.
I mean, I'm not saying I haven't done it, but not multiple times.
I know around one or two that she's done that with.
But it wasn't right after the other.
So you're very much aware of the situation.
Oh yeah.
Judge Lake reminds her, public image fuels assumptions. Ms. Woodbury rolls her eyes, but she knows it's true.
So I just yelled at to him and I was like, hey, you're gonna be a dad. And then, yeah.
So what was the response? Were you happy?
I told her she was lying. I was like, you're lying. She was like, no, I'm not. I'll go get another one. And I was like, go get another one.
Time jump. Positive test, excitement, then fear.
She says,
about what?
We don't talk
about
all the
what?
time.
Music.
No, I don't know because I never checked. But the things that he was saying in front of me and some of my family members were very disrespectful, and you just brushed it right off.
Mr. Cage admits he was happy but scared. Then the rumors.
There was a artist, and he scarily resembles me. Like it's kind of weird. We resemble each other, and everyone thinks so as well. And pretty much they talked all the time.
A look-alike artist. Social media whispers, comments spiraling. Judge Lake shuts it down. Disrespect is disrespect.
So the point is, this relationship with this guy, Mr. Cage, you've not always been very comfortable with, but you're trying to lean into your trust and believe that Ms. Woodbury's saying there's no physical, emotional, sexual connection.
Miss Woodbury says she can't control the internet.
There's a picture. I did provide a picture, and it looks a spitting image of him. Same eye. Daquan has big eyes. He says he don't. He do. And I got small little eyes. I got colored eyes. He got brown eyes. Lexington has brown eyes.
Mr. Cage admits he doubted her, but says he still loves her.
I feel like there's certain features.
Where?
I feel like
where?
Features.
He looks, okay, one, he's so much darker than you. And
it don't matter, you're...
No.
Like...
Just no. He looks...
I don't have to say it.
110% nothing like the other man.
Judge Lake delivers the pre-result sermon. This court is for truth, not tabloids.
So we're having another baby. Have you thought about, what if Lexington is not my child?
We would have a long talk resulting in me going somewhere else, yes.
See, but this is what I'm talking about. And babies are blessings. But what concerns me is that if you would have that response here.
The envelope appears. Judge Lake opens it. In the case of Woodbury versus Cage.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Cage, you are the father.
Imagine walking into paternity court at just 16, with your mom blaming your weight struggles for everything and two guys waiting outside to see who's the dad. Christy's here, and the stakes are real. A 3-month-old baby and a whole lot of drama.
Ms. White, you claim your daughter's low self-esteem and struggles with her weight have led to promiscuity and questions of paternity. Ms. White, you admit you are unsure who fathered your 3-month-old daughter, but say you blame your mother for many of your problems.
Christy opens up about low self-esteem and brutal teasing. Judge Lake shows empathy, but pushes toward the real question.
She looked beautiful to me, but she questionable about, her weight. It's not where she wants to be, but she can do something about that. She can go to the Y.
Christy admits she slept with multiple guys during the conception window. The room goes quiet. A friend kept introducing her to men. Judge Lake is concerned.
I was going to my friend's house. I felt as though she was my real friend. She had my best interest in mind. So I was going out with one guy, and if she didn't feel like he was good enough, she would introduce me to another guy. And if he wasn't good enough, it was another guy.
Christy wanted attention, ended up with chaos. Mr. Langford steps in, then reveals a threesome during the window. Shock everywhere.
You were in a relationship with Ms. White.
Yes, ma'am.
Please tell me a little bit about your relationship.
We were dating for about a month, and after the month, she had some trust issues with me. After the fact that me and another of my friends had a threesome with her.
Was that during the time of conception?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Clapton follows, claims another guy came into the room after him. Christy confirms being with both.
This other gentleman came in the room.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. White, they're both claiming that they had sex with you on nights when other guys also had sex with you.
That's untrue, Your Honor.
That's not true.
That's not true.
Mom reveals social media posts claiming paternity. Judge Lake calls out the mess. The friend is exposed.
The threesome and all the orgies happened at this young lady's house. You're wicked, and I thought you was Christy's friend. You're no friend of Christy's, and I want you to know that. I always respect you for you to allow this to happen at your house.
Hold on.
You put her life in danger. It's diseases out there. It's AIDS out there. You knew that was going on.
Judge Lake mentors Christy on self-worth and choices. Finally, the envelope. Judge Lake reads, in the case of White versus White, when it comes to 3-month-old Christina White, Mr. Clapton.
In the case of White versus White, when it comes to the paternity of 3-month-old Christina White, Mr. Clapton, you are not the father.
Your Honor, he has.
I don't even have a place to stay myself, so
At his cousin's house, at Shawarma house. He has dropped me off at the
All
right, just a minute.
I stayed there, Your Honor.
I had to threaten you to come back. I called you on the phone and said, get your punk behind back here to this hospital right
Your
now.
Honor, that's after she had
And
the.
he slept
Your Honor,
the
that's
whole time
after
here, Your
she had the baby, Your Honor.
And let's
That's
not talk
after
about the
she had
birth
baby.
certificate when you
When
signed
we
it.
Ms. Autry storms into paternity court with fire and receipts, insisting Ms. Martin is pinning a baby on her son. She's got proof it's not her grandchild, right down to baby toes. I mean, who needs Maury when you've got pediatrics? The tension is instant. Ms. Martin's like monster-in-law alert, while Judge Lake tries to keep it respectful. Drama overload already, folks.
Ms. Autry, you say the defendant is taking advantage of your son by pinning a baby on him, and you have physical proof that her 2-year-old daughter, Skyla, is not your grandchild. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Martin, you claim that the plaintiff is a monster-in-law and is denying your daughter only because she doesn't like you. You need help and hope to get some once the results are revealed. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Let's roll the first clip. We're barely a minute in, and the word tramp flies out like confetti. Judge Lake slams the brakes. Respectful language only. You can feel the crackle in the air. Ms. Autry's claim, Ms. Martin entrapped her son with gifts. Money, clothes, a car. I mean, just look at everyone's faces. This courtroom is not ready for this energy.
She wanted a man of her own.
Yes, ma'am.
Autry, really? Why would you say that, Miss Autry?
Because you do, Miss Tramp.
Oh, see, Your Honor,
Miss Autry, come on, let's be respectful.
I don't like her.
Why you want to
and look,
disrespect
you don't
the
have
mother
to
of
like
your
her, but you can use respectful language.
Not the mother of my grandchild.
Now we learn Ms. Martin is actually married to Ms. Autry's son. Wait, married? The shock hits like a plot twist. Judge Lake blinks in slow motion. Ms. Autry admits she tried to stop the wedding. Stop the wedding. Things got rocky quickly, and yes, you can absolutely cut this tension with a knife.
What was the nature of the relationship between you and Miss Autry's son?
That's my husband.
That's your yes, your husband.
My husband.
So he's still your husband.
Get married
Yes,
to
ma'am.
you.
Yes, Your Honor.
Because I got a phone call, so I was getting married down the street from my house. So I was on my way walking down there to start the marriage to my friend. That's why I was going out to go start the wedding.
She tried to stop
When
the
I got
wedding,
dropped
This woman literally got a call, rolled out of bed, and marched down the street to block the ceremony. When that didn't work, the couple fled to another location to say, I do. Imagine doing wedding speed runs to dodge your future in-law. I mean, just look at that reaction. Judge Lake is trying not to laugh.
How did you find out she was getting married?
Someone called me and told me.
Your son didn't tell you?
No.
No, he didn't tell me. He didn't want me to know because he know I would have stopped
it. Okay, and you got that call, you were in the bed, then you did what?
I got up, I got dressed, and I started walking up the street, and a friend seen me walking, and she said, where are you going? And I said, to stop this wedding.
The wedding party followed to the mystery location. Ms. Autry swears if she'd had a car, there wouldn't have been a wedding at all. Ms. Martin repeats, she's crazy, Your Honor. Somewhere a planner is crying into a bouquet.
But with Ms. Autry trailing behind, well, I don't get how that worked.
I didn't have no choice, I ain't had no car. If I'd had a car, I went right on behind them, and there wouldn't have been no wedding.
She's crazy, Your Honor.
So you've never cared for Miss Martin?
It ain't so much as I never cared for Miss Martin. It's just that she has been very disrespectful from day one when I first.
We pivot to the pregnancy timeline. Ms. Autry says she doubted paternity from day one. She even went to the hospital and got booted for loudly declaring the baby wasn't family. Can anyone else feel the temperature rising? It's getting spicy.
And I went to the hospital where she was. I was put at the hospital because I told her that's not my grandbaby. So I tried to have the baby early.
She didn't
and
come
I want a
to
DNA
see about
test.
me. I wasn't in labor. I was actually in pain. It was false labor. She
Okay,
came
it was
up there.
false labor. So you came up there and you told her this is not my grandchild. And what else did you say?
Ms. Martin says it was false labor, but the confrontation was real. Security had to intervene. We're in public and she's yelling, "That ain't my son's baby." I mean, just look at Ms. Martin's face. Equal parts irritated and exhausted.
You said that's not my grandchild instantly.
Yeah, she don't have the toes like my son.
Yes,
His
she
toes
does.
cross,
Yes, she
his big
does.
toe is here and his this toe next
They
to his toe.
overlap.
It crawls over like that. And I have proof, Your Honor, that that is not his baby because her toes don't do that.
Yes, they do,
and she
Your
don't have
Honor.
the thick eyebrows as me and my son and my daughter have.
Enter the toe theory. Ms. Autry claims her family's big toe overlaps the second toe. She's analyzing this baby's feet like a forensic specialist. Ms. Martin counters, she's 2. Let her toes grow. People are fighting over feet. Peak paternity court.
My daughter has feet like her family. Miss Autry has small feet and so does my baby.
So the baby doesn't have crossed toes. And what else is your doubt? It doesn't have eyebrows.
Don't have the eyebrows. And my son have girly eyelashes and she don't have those.
They haven't grew yet. She's only 2. Let her develop in her own way. I mean,
Now it's eyebrows. Ms. Autry swears the family trait is thick brows and girly lashes. The babies are not thick enough yet. Ms. Martin snaps back. Babies don't pop out with full-blown eyebrows. Judge Lake's expression, priceless.
So, Ms. Martin, has your husband accepted the baby or does he have doubt?
no, he doesn't have any doubts. It's her. She hasn't even tried to bond with the baby, so of course you're gonna think she's not yours.
Why would
You
I
haven't
bond
tried
with
to
the baby
bond
unless
with
I
her.
know for
You
a
haven't
fact
tried
it's
to
my
get to know
son?
her.
Had I had
But
them, I did
Skylar's
my
2
own
years.
DNA
Wait,
test to make
she's
sure.
2 years old.
Queen DNA enters the chat. Ms. Autry proudly declares she tests every grandchild before accepting them. The audacity is Olympic level. Ms. Martin says her husband has 0 doubts. Only his mother does. Family group chat muted.
Wait, you said, Miss Autry, you gonna give her a discount of $50 a week?
Yes, ma'am.
As long as she can prove with DNA that that's your grandchild?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'd like to hear from your witness. Please stand, ma'am. State your name for the court.
Rebecca Cooper, Your Honor.
Miss Cooper, you are Miss Autry's daughter.
Yes, ma'am.
Look at her eyebrows.
Babysitting comes up. Ms. Autry says she'll watch the child with a discount. If the DNA proves it's her granddaughter, imagine conditional childcare. $50 off if it's blood. Drama at its finest, folks.
He left me to go be with another woman, and I was trying to hurt him like he hurted me.
Let's be clear. Did you sleep with another man?
Yes, Your Honor.
You did?
Prior to him coming back into my life, yes. August 2013, and he came back into my life in 2014, June.
And she was already pregnant.
No.
All right. Is there any chance that man could be Skylar's biological father?
No, Your Honor.
A witness appears, Ms. Autry's daughter, siding with Ms. Martin. "That's my brother's baby." Boom. You can literally hear the gasp ripple through the courtroom. Ms. Autry's jaw drops so hard it echoes.
You are Skylar's biological father.
Yes.
You do?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Your
No,
Honor,
he's not.
that's her ex-boyfriend, my daughter's.
Wait a minute now. Miss Cooper, this is your ex-boyfriend?
Yes, Your Honor.
That was a mistake, Your Honor.
So, Ms. Martin, you slept with your sister-in-law's boyfriend?
Yes.
Ms. Martin asks for help, real help, emotionally, financially, because parenting is a lot. Ms. Autry, not helping unless she's mine. Brutal, heartbreaking stuff. You can see the strain wearing on everyone.
You had sex unprotected, and you
time
believe
frame
it was in the window of conception?
Yes.
No, it was. That baby.
Did she ever tell you you are the father?
Once when we was on the phone,
When you were on the phone?
Yes.
What did she say?
she was just telling me like it's a possibility that the baby could be mine.
She could be here. Look at his
I didn't
eyebrows. Look at
tell
her
him
eyebrows. The only thing wrong with him, he got lazy eyes.
She doesn't.
She got
She
big
doesn't
eyes.
look like him.
The pleas continue. Judge Lake is working overtime to mediate human feelings and family pride. The words, "I need help with my kids," hang heavy in the air. Someone pass the tissues, please.
You say plainly, I need help. You mean financial help, emotional support,
Emotionally, it's
child care,
Child
everything.
care. She has other siblings that she wants to be around. They want to be around their other siblings, and this is like the glue.
Cue the drum roll. Results are in for Autry versus Martin. Judge Lake announces the biological father.
In the case of Autry versus Martin, pertaining to whether Mr. Martin or Mr. Gott, the father of 2-year-old Skylar Martin, it has been determined by this court. The The biological father is Mr. Martin.
I'll take that for
An apology, sort of. Ms. Autry apologizes to baby Skyla, not to Ms. Martin. Ms. Martin accepts for her child. It's raw, awkward, and hopeful in its own lopsided way. Families don't heal in a sentence, but this is a start.
At the end of the day, you all are family through these children.
I'm Skylar family.
No, the
I'm
point is
blessing
your
to her.
family through the children. Well, no, because it's your daughter-in-law. Your son's still married to her.
As long as she accepts my child, because that's what it's all about. I don't.
New case, new mess. Mr. Jackson's wife and his mistress are in court. Same man, same timeline, different realities. Judge Lake is about to referee a whole soap opera. Can we get hazard pay for emotional whiplash?
Your Honor, let's talk about that. I got an epiphany, call it woman's intuition, whatever you want. Well, I went to my husband's job. It was about 9:30 or 10:30 at night, and he approached the car. We talked for a few minutes, and to end our conversation, I told him.
We hear how the wife confronted the mistress. Voice recognized, window knocked on, questions asked. The suspense is heavy. The mistress looks shook. The wife's energy is, say it to my face.
At that point, your role is kind of insignificant. Like, I'm his wife, nice to meet you. So she and I proceeded to talk. She started to tell me about how they were intimate, how she lived with him at the hotel that he was presently staying at.
Why show up at the job? The mistress isn't buying the wife's story, and the wife isn't buying the mistress's intentions. You can literally see the "stay away from my husband" glare across the aisle.
When I'm around Mr. Jackson and she calls and the kids calls, that's how I know her voice is so high pitched. You can hear her through the phone. But she was always labeled as my BM, which is my baby mother.
The ring drama. Why wear a ring on that finger if you're not his wife? The courtroom murmurs. I mean, just look at their faces. This symbolism is not landing the way the mistress hoped.
He and I was angry enough,
She called
Your
the police
Honor.
and said
I was
that he jumped
angry
on her
enough
and sent them to jail.
to
made
send him to
lose his
jail, Your
job in
Honor.
his
It was an
room.
impulsive decision, and I understand it was not the right decision, Your Honor.
Bottom line, a wife and a mistress locked in emotional tug of war over one man. Judge Lake cuts to the chase. This isn't about titles, it's about paternity. The truth has a way of slicing through the noise.
Mr. Jackson, thank you for joining us today.
How you doing, Your Honor?
I'm still here because I'm listening to a mess.
Huh?
I am listening to a situation here.
He created it, Your
and
Honor.
you are in the middle of it.
Mr. Jackson finally gets the heat. You created this mess. The judge is surgical. He nods but dances around accountability. Sir, blink twice if the couch is your current address.
Oh, I didn't tell her no lie. I just didn't never mention it to her. She never asked. I never mentioned.
And so you would need to learn the lesson that anything less than the whole truth is a lie.
Timeline checks. The wife describes leaving. The mistress describes being done. What no one's done with is the baby at the center of all this. Emotions are raw. Everyone's patience is thin.
When Mr. Jackson went to jail, is what I
Okay,
knew.
so let's stop that. Period. Pause. Miss Lipscomb, did the affair end when he went to jail?
Yes, ma'am.
So
Evidence appears, messages, overlaps, contradictions. The judge is stitching a timeline like a detective. If side eyes were evidence, we'd have a conviction already.
another
Yes,
man.
Your Honor.
Your
She
Honor,
told
it
me
was
that
never
that
a
gentleman
secret that
was
I had
taking
a
care.
boyfriend in the beginning. Your husband knew just like you.
Your
so don't
Honor,
act
she
like it
said
was a
that the
secret
young
that I
man
was
was
dealing
taking
with
care
anybody.
of her when she was sick, Your Honor.
Delivery day roll call. Was he in the room? Cut the cord? He didn't cut the cord, but he showed up. Half credit for attendance doesn't equal fatherhood, though.
So he did come for the birth.
Yes.
And Mr. Jackson, did you sign the birth certificate? You did.
So if it's
Your
not
Honor.
his child, why would he sign the
Could I-
birth certificate?
could I
Even more to
intercede?
speak on
So
her
Mr.
behalf.
Jackson, you've acknowledged paternity.
Don't use my child as a crutch. Oof. The mistress doesn't want the baby weaponized in marital warfare. A rare united front. Judge Lake agrees. This is about the child.
This woman is delusional. The whole time I was pregnant,
I'm delusional
she
when
swore
I'm
that
married
she
and
was
you're mixing
pregnant.
with my husband.
She's been pregnant 4 times since I have had my daughter.
Your Honor,
Sitting
well, she's
right here
not
that
telling
she
you
sent
that
me
I'm
in
pregnant
May.
now.
The wife quotes the mistress words. The mistress counters. It's a carousel of contradictions. The audience is following along like a tennis match. My neck hurts.
And I'm going to continue to say
I'm not the type of person that will break up a happy home.
Oh, well, your
Honor,
home was
married.
already broke
Why
up and
you
your home was
stepping
not
in?
happy. When I
She
came
told
into
me,
the
Your
picture,
Honor,
your home
maybe
was broke
about
up and it
2
wasn't happy
weeks
then.
Carrying a coward's child. Phew, that line lands like a thunderclap. Hurt on top of hurt. The judge reins it in, reminding them this child didn't ask for any of this.
They still gonna go backwards and forward. It's still gonna be text
So,
messages.
Mr. Jackson, look, do you believe Miss Lipscomb's child is your child? Do you
It's a
believe
possibility.
Kiesha is your child?
Yes, Your Honor, it could be a possibility.
It is a possibility.
Future talk. Who's raising this baby? Plans, promises, posturing. The judge's face says, enough speeches. We need facts.
It's like you say,
I'm not your wife. I want to answer.
It's like you say.
Are you gonna raise the baby? Gonna raise this baby? See you up at the hospital performing. You performing.
Everyone coos at the baby. The judge calls her beautiful because she is. But beauty won't answer the question we came for. We're inches from the truth.
Talking back and forth about the nonsense, messiness that you caused. You allowed him to cause. And you realized he was causing and still got pregnant by him again. And we're not talking enough about Keasia.
Results, please. The envelope lands. Judge Lake reads, the biological father is Mr. Jackson. Audible gasps. The mistress exhales. The wife's expression tightens. The truth finally has a name.
Mr. Jack, you are not the father.
Still over, Your Honor.
Now the fallout, not even her husband's child. Hearts are heavy. The judge presses everyone. What does support look like from here? Less fighting? More parenting? Can someone pass the co-parenting plan, please?
What about this beautiful little baby? Do you know who her father is?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is he gonna wanna be a part of her life?
No, probably not.
Oh. Lady, there's some days where you gotta put your big girl panties on. You put them on?
Round 3. She says he was excited at the pregnancy until doubts moved in. He says there were reasons. Judge Lake braces for another emotional roller coaster. Buckle up.
You argue that the only reason he's denying your baby is because you've since learned he was in another relationship.
Plenty of them, I've heard.
Entire time you were together.
That's not true.
Ms. Kalan, your counterclaim to Mr. Scott's petition.
Phone snooping enters the chat. He says he searched because trust was cracked. She fires back about assumptions. You can feel the defensiveness turning into distance. Classic we stopped listening moment.
So you felt like since her phone didn't ring,
yeah, something was fishy.
was up. Maybe she had it on silent.
Something was fishy. So she went to sleep and she had a passcode on her phone. So as I'm looking at, as the day goes on, their progress, I looked at my peripheral on how she did it.
Their timelines collide. Arrivals, visits, half explanations. Who was where, when? Their answers step on each other like bad choreography. The judge keeps them on beat. Focus.
You discovered information you really didn't want to know, meaning that she had other partners at the same time. So this is what fuels your doubt.
He got proof? No.
Were they together or not? He says yes. She hedges. Meanwhile, the child is somewhere in this maze waiting for grown-ups to act grown. Can anyone else feel the clock ticking?
You felt like she was intimate with other people during the same time frame.
Exactly, yes.
So now, Ms. Kalan, I gotta come to you. You have to say about his accusation.
He is a lie. I think he believes his own lie, for real. I mean, this is like crazy.
Money, time, support. Who paid for what? He claims he provided. She says she carried most of it. The ledger of love is always messy. And yes, the judge wants receipts, not vibes.
Yes, I did get pregnant.
And the reason why you didn't meet nobody because I had my suspicions from the first time.
So you're saying, Ms. Kalan, that you got pregnant the very first time you visited him?
Yes.
We learn he had a wife or ex-wife in the background. More complications. The crowd collectively sighs. Side plots like this turn trust into rubble fast.
The time in which you were sleeping with that person as well as
this person and that person.
Yes.
Girls, only two girls. Don't be adding nothing.
That's crazy.
Don't add other people.
I mean, you got
and you're telling me that you're the person with the trust issue.
He describes finding questionable photos. She calls it out of context. The room goes awkwardly quiet. You could cut this tension with a knife.
Pictures of other male part, and it was another. She was like, "Well, I'm finna go to Lancaster, visit a friend, a family."
And she did it like that.
The guy responds like, the guy says, "Well."
He mentions locations and assumptions. She pushes back. Context, context, context. The judge reminds them, suspicion isn't proof, DNA is.
For one day, you got the little bitty debt. If it's in it for the whole week, you got the whole. She had Subway cups up there, Newports.
I don't think I'll come forth, baby boy.
He insists he takes care of all his kids. She asks for consistency, not speeches. You can see the fatigue written on both of them. Heartbreaking stuff.
I see him almost every weekend. How is that not feeling you or into
at the same time, there was other dudes talking about, I'm going to Lancaster to visit my friend.
I never met nobody.
And he says, I can come back. I miss you too. Why? I'm not your friend. If I'm your dude, I'm your man.
He admits intimacy despite doubts. She notes mixed signals. The judge gives the classic look that says, actions speak louder than captions.
So, Ms. Kalan, you find out you're pregnant. You immediately know.
And now, no, hold on, Your Honor. Prior to this,
She didn't even know. I
after
told
I
her.
left the first time,
I told her she was
he
pregnant.
told me, he said, I bet you're pregnant.
Travel, timing, who met whom when, it's a tangle. She says she handled things herself. Independence can look like resilience or isolation, depending on the day.
I didn't know if that's what I wanted. I told him that plenty of times. You know, I don't know, you know, if you're gonna be there. You know, I don't want to have a baby
The
and
baby
raise
was
it
mine.
again
How come the baby
by
ain't got my
myself,
last name?
you
The
know?
baby don't even
Because
look
he
like none
wasn't
of my
even-
other kids.
Money sent, loan, or gift. He says not a loan, then waivers. She says it absolutely was. Judge Lake, where's the paper trail? Silence has never been louder.
Why did I get a loan from her? I mean, I worked.
You
at the
act
time.
like I'm speaking blasphemy. I just
No,
asked
not
for the
a loan.
loan.
Yeah.
No, it was not a loan. Not
Okay,
at all.
what was it?
I said I needed it, and she
And
gave
what
it to me
was
every
it
other
me taking
day.
care of somebody that obviously couldn't take care of herself?
No written proof. The judge lays it out. Feelings aren't contracts. The audience nods like a chorus line. We're circling the runway. Results incoming.
And that he agreed to pay the money. This is just a little fact going forward, a legal tip. If you're gonna loan money, get something in writing. I cannot award you that money.
Results for Scott versus Kalon. Judge Lake reads the biological truth. The instant reactions are visceral. Hope, shock, tears. You can see a future rearranging itself in real time.
Mr. Scott, you are not the father.
I apologize.
Ms. Chappelle storms into paternity court ready to prove Mr. Todd is her daughter Walisha's biological father, and she's got a whole bill for babysitting and lost wages to back it up. But Mr. Todd, he's saying there's no way he's the dad and claims she's trying to pin a baby on him. Oh, and his fiancée, Miss Collins, is here with a counterclaim. Drama overload.
Chappelle, you say the defendant, Mr. Todd, is without a doubt your daughter Walisia's biological father. You say the only reason he denies her is because his fiancée, Miss Collins, doesn't want him in your life.
Yes, Your Honor.
Right out the gate, Ms. Chappelle says she had to pay $75 a week for childcare after Mr. Todd stopped babysitting. You can hear the frustration in her voice. She even says she quit her job because she couldn't keep up. I mean, just look at that energy. She came prepared with papers. Meanwhile, Mr. Todd is already shaking his head like, not today.
I had to start paying $75 a week for babysitting fees and lost wages, and I didn't have a babysitter, and I couldn't keep up with the babysitting fees, so I had to quit my job, and I don't have a job anymore. And here's my papers right here.
Jerome, will you hand me those, please?
Judge Lake cuts through the mess. Were y'all using protection every time? And both basically say no. Things got rocky quickly. Mr. Todd admits they were messing around, but he swears it wasn't a relationship. You can feel the tension rising. Two very different definitions of whatever this was.
He assaulted me with
But the other thing, Walisia.
with someone else's
All
baby.
right. Why is it you doubt that Walicia is your child?
Because at the time, she was messing around with other guy, and by me being young.
Cue the counterclaim. Ms. Collins alleges busted car windows and brings receipts, literally. She says Ms. Chappelle smashed her windows after a phone drama situation. Talk about messy. The judge asks for evidence, and out come the incident report and $375 repair receipt.
It's not even in the picture, Your Honor, so she has nothing to do with this. We was
what
together
picture that
here.
was?
2011, I was pregnant with someone else, baby. Our baby was already here when they met you, Honor.
All right.
Our babies were here before she
Listen.
came in the
All right.
Quiet.
All right.
And then Ms. Chappelle admits it. She did bust those windows, claims it was self-defense during an altercation. You could cut this tension with a knife. Judge Lake presses for details, and Ms. Chappelle stands on it. I mean, just look at that reaction from Ms. Collins. She's not buying it for a second.
Bust out my windows on my car. She ran. I have
she came to
a
where
receipt.
she was. That's
how she get where I'm at.
And I have proof,
From
and I have a
the side
post
of
report
town.
that
Come
she
where
bust
I'm
my
at.
windows out on
Do
my
you
car.
have that evidence here today?
I do, ma'am.
Ms. Collins says they let Ms. Chappelle move in with them to help get a DNA test done under stable conditions. Wait, what? They had her and the baby in their home to figure this out? That's wild, and kind of generous, honestly. But Ms. Collins claims it didn't work out that way.
Came where we was at. That's how she lived in Four Seasons. We was in 2500 Central Street. She came where I was at. That's how her window got bugged.
Mr. Todd.
She came at me with a lot of emotion, like we was about to fight. We did get into an altercation.
Hold on.
y'all.
When she came at you with this emotion, was she outside of the car?
Yes.
Ms. Collins keeps going. While living with them, Ms. Chappelle was out late. They were watching the baby and the DNA test kept being avoided. Can anyone else feel the tension rising here? Judge Lake laser focuses on that detail. Avoiding the test is never a good look in this courtroom.
You into this briefly because I want to understand what it is you know about the situation. Ms. Chappelle says you don't know anything because you weren't even involved in this entire time. The baby was already born. So what exactly do you know about it?
When I first met Ms. Chappelle, we let her move in with me and Mr. Todd. We let her move in.
Wait a minute, you let Ms. Chappelle move into the house with you two?
Yes.
Then we get the timeline tea. There's talk of an older boyfriend, a pregnancy right after another baby, and more unprotected sex. Judge Lake lets them all know. This isn't who dated who court. This is paternity court. And if you're having sex unprotected, there's a possibility, period.
Avoiding getting the DNA test.
And what made me have doubt that this is not his baby, she doesn't look like Mr. Todd. And my cousin came and told me, she was saying it could be someone else's baby than Mr. Todd. So that's why I have doubt, because my cousin came and told me.
Mr. Todd chimes in like, she came back around and we had sex, then she says she's pregnant. His face is a whole mood. Confused, defensive, and slightly over it. Meanwhile, Ms. Chappelle insists Mr. Todd knew there was a chance. Drama at its finest, folks.
Went to the hospital because I was going to do an interview downtown at that same time around she had the baby. Once I got in there, the doctor said, who is the father? What one of y'all the father? I said, who it looked like? The doctor said it looked like my friend.
No, it said your brother.
Judge Lake checks the logic. If the mother told Mr. Todd it might be his child, that would support his involvement at first. So where did things break down? You can see the judge trying to stitch together a timeline from a ball of tangled yarn.
About her, I don't know her, because she wasn't nowhere around when these two started messing around. He was on his first baby mama. That's who he was messing with. At the time when he was messing with my daughter.
Oh,
he was with his first baby mama.
I wasn't messing with no baby mama. I was messing with my girl who I was with for 8 years.
All right, listen,
but she wasn't
not my baby mama.
Back to Ms. Collins. She explained she wanted the DNA done under conditions she felt safe with, and Mr. Todd acknowledged the possibility he could be the father. That acknowledgement matters. I mean, just look at Ms. Chappelle's face. She's not loving this framing.
Ms. Chappelle.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ultimately, you say he came to the hospital and inquired about who the child looked like.
Yes, I know.
Why do you think, if he came to the hospital to see the child, if you feel like you all talked about having a baby, why?
Judge Lake puts it plainly. If it turns out Mr. Todd is the father, he's got to step up. If he's not, then we all move on. The room goes quiet. Everyone knows what's coming next. Cue the drum roll.
That would then support the theory that it was your child.
Thank you. That is his child. That's his child.
She said, I've been claiming the baby. I never claimed the baby. That would made her come and say the baby do look like me. Because she know I wasn't never claiming the baby.
Okay.
I haven't never been claiming the baby. But even before I met her,
I need to know one thing from Ms. Collins.
Here it is, the DNA moment. Judge Lake reads, in the case of Chappelle versus Todd Collins.
Case of Chappelle versus Todd Cullen. When it comes to 3-year-old Walesia Chappelle, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Todd, you are not the father.
Your Honor, no, that is not correct. No, Your Honor, that is not correct. I love Mr. Mitchell with everything I have. I have been his best friend since the day when I met him. I love him not because he will take care of London. I love him because he is my best friend.
You were at a place, a location for hours, and you just text me like, where are you?
Oh, you think she was trying to get tabs, like how far away is he?
I know, I've been with her so long.
I don't need to do that with him. I'm straightforward with him.
Your Honor, I've been with her so long, like she said.
Ms. Herman walks into paternity court ready for war. She's here to prove that Mr. Houston is the father of her 2-year-old son, Corey. But the twist? She says he was living a double life. Wife, kids, and secret visits like something straight out of a soap opera. Judge Lake barely says good day before things get fiery.
Ms. Herman, you are here to prove that Mr. Houston is the biological father of your 2-year-old son, Corey. You contend the defendant duped you and was living a double life. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Houston, you claim that you are not the biological father of Ms. Herman's son and will clear your name.
Without missing a beat, Ms. Herman declares, Mr. Houston was a liar, a cheater, and a womanizer. The courtroom's energy instantly shifts. This woman did not come to play. Her mission, expose his double life, and finally, get the truth.
Not too long after I found out he had a wife and children.
Really?
Yes.
How did you find that out?
Your Honor, I like to call this the investigative stage. That's what I do. Investigative. When my woman intuition hits.
Judge Lake asks how she found out about the other family. Ms. Herman proudly says Facebook. She scrolled through his photos one day and there it was. A smiling wife and a house full of kids. Talk about finding out the hard way.
Your Honor, that is a wedding band on his hand.
So you go on Facebook and you see this picture of Mr. Houston and he has a wedding ring on his hand. And so you see the wedding band and then what do?
She says when she confronted him, he shrugged and said, "That's none of your business." Excuse me, sir? It definitely is when you're sneaking out of the house at 2 a.m. to visit her. Even Judge Lake looks like she's holding back a boy, please.
When I met her as a gentleman. Before anything, before my father, before my dad, before my liar, before I'm a cheater, before I'm any of these things at all. I'm a man first.
Well, you over here doing a Shakespearean.
Ms. Herman then takes us back to where it all started, the club. Music blasting, drinks flowing, and there's Mr. Houston, smooth talking and acting single. She admits, "I was young, I believed him." Oh, but this man was seasoned in deception.
I wasn't trying to go in a direction of being with her, or I wasn't going to.
But you didn't use protection when you were sleeping with her.
No, you did not.
Did you tell me?
Don't lie, he did not use a condom, Your Honor.
She even checked his so-called house for stilettos and perfume bottles, none in sight. That's because it wasn't his house. It was his friend's bachelor pad. The audience groans in disbelief. Judge Lake can barely hide her smirk.
That same night,
after the club,
he took me home to his house, and I went. And this is how I did.
Wait a minute. He took you home to his house. Where was his wife and his kid?
I went through the house.
After a month and a half of dating, she got pregnant. He promised he'd be there, but he ghosted faster than a bad Tinder date. Ms. Herman says she didn't see him again until after Corey was born. Classic vanishing act.
When I seen that,
introduced yourself.
I introduced myself. It was more of a, "How you doing? What you doing in here? Where you from?" You know, and it was cool. But the same energy I was transferring.
And here's where the late night drama begins. Ms. Herman says he used to sneak out of his wife's house at 2 a.m. to see her. He'd whisper, "The family's asleep." The audience gasps. Judge Lake's eyebrow does all the talking.
So how long does this relationship go on?
About a month and a half. When I found out I was pregnant, I told Cortez that I was pregnant, and he didn't say anything on the other line of that phone. He said, "Are you for real?" I said, "Yes, I'm for real." Then he promised that he would be there.
When asked if his wife knew, he says, "No." Silence. The whole courtroom feels that tension. Judge Lake looks him dead in the eye and says, "You mean to tell me you were living two lives?" He nods like it's no big deal.
"What you doing?" She answered the phone at 2 a.m. like I expected. She was ready, okay? I wind up leaving, going over there in my car. I went to her house. And once I got there, she always got it laid out. She would have candles here, candles there.
Then comes the jaw drop moment. The wife appears via video call. Calm but furious, she says she found a message from Ms. Herman that read, "When I have the baby, I want to move in with you." The whole courtroom collectively gasps.
What she expected it to be.
Look at his eyebrows.
Maybe you didn't understand my question. Did your wife know you left the house to go sleep with another woman?
No, she did not.
Okay. So
I wouldn't
Jerome,
have know that, Shiana.
Jerome, I think I'm ready to speak to Mr. Houston's wife.
And if that's not enough, the wife says she was pregnant too. Yes, both women expecting at the same time. The drama level officially breaks the scale. Even Jerome's eyebrows shoot up.
Who the hell is this and what is she talking about? And I'm like, so somebody is pregnant by you? Like, I'm trying to get answers, and he like playing dumb, wouldn't tell me the truth about it. So,
you just had to do this.
like.
Judge Lake asks Mr. Houston how he managed this circus. He talks about losing his father and being emotionally broken, but then he slips and says he's in the business of making babies. Judge Lake cuts him off instantly. "This is not a business, sir. This is a courtroom."
It was his baby, and she was like, "Yeah, like he's the only person I've been with. That's, he said he's gonna be there for me and blah, blah, blah." Like, okay, so you're pregnant.
He swears he used protection. Ms. Herman interrupts, "No, he didn't." She even adds that she's allergic to latex. Judge Lake's jaw tightens. "So you risked everything for that?" she says. The audience murmurs,
"Losing your father."
Exactly.
And you thought by making more children,
I'll be connected with my father.
You will be connecting with your father. At the end of the day, you do have to understand that when you bring children into the world with paternity questions,
Mr. Houston then flips the script, claiming Mrs. Herman was seeing other men. "She had hickeys!" he shouts. Mrs. Herman rolls her eyes so hard they could have powered the courtroom lights. "Those came from you," she fires back. Judge Lake almost laughs.
Latex, but not allergic to sex.
This woman tried to trap me.
I mean, it's like
sex at all. You're right.
If you allergic to latex, then you don't need to be having no sex
he first brought out the condom, I said, is it a no latex condom? He told me, no, it's latex. I said, I can't use that. I said, we better off not. No, never mind, I'll just do it anyway.
She says all she ever wanted was for him to step up and be a father. He says he helped, bought clothes, toys, all that. But Ms. Herman reminds everyone he disappeared right after the baby was born. Judge Lake says it best. Presence is more than presence.
Shit wasn't that. It's like eating chicken every day. I wanted something else. It had nothing to do with my wife.
Can you please know when to stop when you're ahead?
These women are trying.
I accepted your baby-making business story.
He argues that Corey doesn't look like him. That baby's got duck lips and a pointy nose. I don't have that. Judge Lake side-eyes him like, that's your scientific analysis? The audience burst into laughter.
He doesn't do anything for Corey at all.
So I didn't buy nothing.
He doesn't do anything for Corey at all.
This woman's full of lies today. I don't know why.
Can you show your receipt?
What have you done?
I made sure that I had his first pair of shoes. I got him some booties.
Ms. Herman says she's tired of the lies. She tears up saying, my son deserves to know the truth. The courtroom quiets down. Even Judge Lake softens. You're right. Every child deserves clarity and honesty.
All my other kids, they were intentional. I did try to create this. You know what I'm trying to say?
Listen, if pregnancy required intention.
Now it's DNA time. Judge Lake holds the envelope, but the tension is so thick you could slice it. Ms. Herman clasps her hands. Mr. Houston looks confident, almost cocky. Jerome hands the results over with his usual stoic look.
I left my home to come check on her, you know.
It's a privilege for her.
You did. Thank you.
It actually was
that
a
you
privilege.
left your wife. I'm second choice. Thank you. I appreciate it.
It wasn't second choice.
Mr. Houston, you are walking a tightrope on my last nerve right now.
Judge Lake takes a deep breath. In the case of Herman versus Houston, the audience holds theirs. When it comes to 2-year-old Corey, long pause. Ms. Herman's eyes well up. Mr. Houston.
In the case of Herman versus Houston, when it comes to 2-year-old Corey Herman, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Houston, you are not the father.
Yes!
You ever love someone so fiercely you'd bet your DNA on it? That's Mr. Jennings, 26 years a dad, now facing Mrs. Lynn's claim that he might not be Taylor's biological father. Stakes are sky high, hearts on the line, and Judge Lake is about to sort through a whole soap opera of teenage choices, timelines, and truth bombs. Drama overload. The courtroom breathes in as Judge Lake opens. Mr. Jennings is stiff with controlled rage. Miss Lynn sits cool, almost detached. Taylor? She looks like a storm cloud with mascara. Even before testimony, you can feel it. This isn't just a paternity case, it's a family earthquake.
After raising your daughter Taylor for 26 years, from diapers to adulthood, and never doubting paternity of your little girl, you are furious that you had to drag your ex-wife to court. You are not her daughter's biological father, is that correct?
Mr. Jennings fires first. This is spite. He lists the birthdays, the bills, the bedtime stories. He's furious, but underneath, wounded. I mean, just look at his face. His reaction says it all. Ms. Lynn shakes her head like, not spite, truth. Can anyone else feel the tension rising here?
So, Mr. Jennings, what do you believe is the real reason Ms. Lynn is now saying you aren't the father?
Just out of spite, jealousy.
Spite? Are you spiteful, Ms. Lynn?
No. Judge Lake zeroes in on motive. Are you doing this to hurt him? Ms. Lynn blurts, no, but the pause before it hovers like fog. Taylor's eyes dart from mom to dad. This is the kind of awkward that needs hazard pay.
What I remember is they were arguing, and I remember her husband was driving. I remember the exact song, and she'd said that he's not my dad. That is what I remember.
How old were you then?
Taylor admits she didn't even hear the doubt from her mom first. It came from the stepmother. Talk about messy. Ms. Lynn's face tightens. The audience reacts. You could cut this tension with a knife.
All right, I was very young. My parents did not want us together at all. It was strictly forbidden. I ran away from home to be with him. And the only way we could be together and get married without my parents' signature.
Mr. Jennings goes full dad mode. That's my baby girl. He recounts day one diapers, first steps, first car. It's raw, it's real, and it's heartbreaking stuff. Meanwhile, Ms. Lynn stays stone still. Either calm or calculating, you decide.
So you tried to get pregnant on purpose by Mr. Jennings?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Because you wanted to marry him that bad?
Yes, ma'am, I did. And I don't regret it, and I do it again. Because my daughter came from that. And that's the best thing that ever happened to me.
Judge Lake turns the key. Timeline time. Ms. Lynn admits there were other men. Gasps. Mr. Jennings blinks like he just got hit with a memory he never asked for. Drama at its finest, folks.
So that you can get married, but you slept with more than one guy?
Yes,
so
I
to
did.
make sure you got pregnant?
Yes, I did. I wanted to marry him that badly.
This was agreed upon?
We get the teenage chaos reel. Running off, making up, breaking up. Ms. Lynn shrugs. We were young, sure, but conception windows aren't vibes, they're dates. Judge Lake's eyebrows basically file an amicus brief.
They know better to come on top of the mountain up there, so there was no chance of getting
Oh, you
caught.
went up on top of the mountain where the law don't come.
Yeah, the law would not come up there. They've been shot at so many times up there.
Then it drops. Ms. Lynn says she got pregnant on purpose to keep him. The gallery exhales in one shocked, oh. Even Judge Lake double takes, intentionally, and Ms. Lynn nods. Cue the drum roll for consequences.
June the 21st, she was pregnant. We got everything, went to Carrollton Courthouse, got married. February 14th, Taylor was born.
Did you discover she was pregnant in Georgia, or did you discover she was pregnant on the mountain?
I think we was back in Georgia when we found out.
Which do you say, Ms. Lynn?
We were in Georgia when I found out I was pregnant.
You were in Georgia when you found out you were pregnant.
Taylor is shattered. So my whole life, she can't finish. Just look how crushed she is. That heartbreak is palpable. Mr. Jennings leans toward her, the protector he's always been, even as his own heart crumbles.
Planned this, you got pregnant, you were able to get married, and you had the baby.
Yes, ma'am.
How did the other men get in this?
Well, he got the dates wrong.
And you never knew Mr. Jennings?
I never knew that she was messing around with nobody other than me.
Did he know you were messing around?
Yes, he did.
I'll always be your dad, he says, voice shaky. That one sentence lands like a hug and a goodbye all at once. If you're not Misty, check your Wi-Fi. Your feelings may be buffering.
He's got it listed as April and May. That's not true.
So wait, when did you get married? Did you? It says June 21st.
That's correct.
Is that true? Do
That is
anybody
correct.
have proof of that? Bring up.
I do.
Jerome, let me see that, please.
Receipts time, dates, trips, who was where. Ms. Lynn's timeline versus Mr. Jennings's timeline is like two GPS apps rerouting at once. Judge Lake wants specifics. No more romance novel recollections, just facts.
And so this is a letter from the health department, and it's to certify that Brandy Taylor was given a pregnancy test on June 13th, 1990, and the results were positive.
Taylor explains how it all resurfaced. Whispers, resemblance comparisons, and the gnawing need to know. She started looking quietly at first. The court leans in. This isn't just scandal, it's identity.
How long did you stay married, first of all?
6 years, 2 months.
6 years, 2 months. All right. And for those entire 6 years and 2 months, she believed Mr. Jennings was her biological father.
Yes.
Mr. Jennings, did you believe she was your biological child?
She talks social media searches, messages, and that one dinner with a possible father figure. The way she says, I just wanted answers. Oof. You can feel 26 years balancing on the word truth.
So he can't say he did not know.
Do you remember that conversation, Mr. Jennings?
Yes, but as far as knowing she was trying to get pregnant with other people and all, I know nothing about that.
Then come the photos. Noses, lips, foreheads being C, S. I'd like features are fingerprints. Mr. Jennings looks at Taylor like, you don't need a lab to see my love. And honestly, someone passed the tissues.
Did the other guy believe he was Taylor's biological father?
His exact words were he didn't care.
And so at that point, Mr. Jennings says the relationship begins to go downhill. Is that true?
No, we had another child after that.
You did?
Yes.
Judge Lake keeps everyone steady, reminding them this court finds facts, not villains. Still, the room is vibrating. Things got rocky quickly, and we're not even at the test results yet.
There was more than one possibility.
Yes, ma'am.
Is Mr. Jennings even a possibility?
Yes.
Okay, and Taylor, this has always been daddy to you.
Ms. Lynn claims she told the truth to protect Taylor from a bigger hurt later, but the timing? Questionable. The gallery's faces are doing synchronized skepticism. I mean, would you buy that timing?
Moment, did you always have it in the back of your mind, or did you just let it go?
I've always had it in the back of my mind. Like, that's why I'm here now.
So, when did you start acting on that notion you had? You couldn't let go of this notion.
When I was 23.
Mr. Jennings remembers wanting a DNA test when Taylor was a baby, but the family pushed it aside to keep the peace. You can see it hit him, 26 years of what-ifs piling up in his eyes.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go through her people I remember as being her childhood friends and see if any of them know who the other possibilities could be. So at the time, I'm living in Tennessee. So I go through her friends list. I, just think of people that were around. And the first person I write, I ask him, and he says, it's me.
Taylor admits she feared losing the only dad she's ever known. I didn't want to hurt him, she says, voice quivering. This is the emotional choke point. Love versus truth, past versus present.
Yes, and also people that I could remember coming around when I was a kid, or that I heard about as a kid that was her friends growing up.
Judge Lake structures the window of conception. Alabama trip dates, the return to Georgia, the positive test. The calendar doesn't gossip, it just points. And the pointing, not friendly.
And the man she reached out to, was she correct? And was he correct? Was he one of the possibilities?
Yes.
He was?
Yes.
And do you believe he is Taylor's biological father?
I honestly don't know, but she does look like him.
We get the proof stack, marriage certificate timing, messages, a June test. Every page slaps. Mr. Jennings grips the podium. Miss Lynn stares straight ahead. Taylor's hands shake in her lap.
You didn't feel like that was
blonde hair, blue eyes, different kind of nose, longer face, like, no, I mean, nothing. Then the other one, we had tried to get him to be here, and he didn't want to be here, so
okay,
that's why he's not here.
Envelope time. The courtroom goes silent like someone muted reality. In the case of Jennings versus Lynn regarding 26-year-old Taylor, cue the drum roll. Hearts and throats.
In the case of Jennings versus Lynn, when it comes to 26-year-old Taylor Martini, it has been determined by this court, Mr. Jennings, you are not the father.
Imagine walking into paternity court with your dad's last name and a lifetime of questions. That's Precious Christian today, asking Judge Lake to order a DNA test to prove Mr. Christian is her father. He says he's not. She says she's carried his name, his absence, and this doubt her whole life. Stakes, sky high, tissues, potentially. Let's roll the first clip.
You claim that up until recently, you were told that Mr. Christian is your father, and you need the test to gain closure. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Christian, you say.
Right away, Precious lays it out. I've got your last name. How am I not your child? The hurt in her voice is heavy, and you can feel the room lean in. I mean, just look at her face. Equal parts anger and exhaustion. Judge Lake locks in on impact and closure. Drama overload already, folks.
I'll start with you, Ms. Christian. Why should the court grant this DNA test?
Well, first of all, Your Honor, I have his last name. So how can I not be his child if I still have his last name?
Tell the court how this has impacted your life.
Mr. Christian admits he and Precious's mom lived that Bonnie and Clyde lifestyle. The man gets emotional, and you can tell there's history here. Messy, tangled, and painful. But even through the tears, he stands firm. He never knew the facts, so he never signed on for Precious. Talk about messy.
But you never really committed to the father-daughter relationship. Why?
Well, her mother and I had a lifestyle that we lived that was kind of contrary.
Precious is done playing nice. Your whole family claims me, she fires back. Whew, you could cut this tension with a knife. She's 26, pregnant, and just trying to know who she is. The frustration is loud. She's carried this since childhood, and it's boiling over on live TV.
His whole family claims me. I don't know this woman. She only been in his life for 3 years. I'm 26 years old. What can you say about this situation? I'm the innocent person in this situation.
Enter Auntie. She introduced Mr. Christian to Precious's mom and says he claimed Precious back then. She's basically like, you were acting like dad. Now you've got a new wife and new memory? I mean, just look at that reaction. Mr. Christian is stone-faced while Auntie is ready to testify all day.
And first of all, he was claiming her, taking care of her, doing stuff for her. So you're not claiming her because you got a new wife?
So hold on, you're saying that when Miss Christian was born, Mr. Christian was taking care of her like she was his child?
Exactly what I'm saying,
accepting her?
Heartbreaker alert. Precious searched the phone book at 7 to find her father. How do you not feel that? She wanted the kind of dad other kids had at school. I'm not crying, you're crying. Can someone pass the tissues, please?
I'm gonna look in the phone book for my father.
Yes, Your Honor.
I have always, because I know a lot. I know too much. And I kept stuff from her. I didn't want her to know stuff. It was stuff that...
Mr. Christian says he tried to bond but never felt a connection, and that his own childhood without a father influenced him. It's complicated, but Precious hears only the distance. That's a lifetime of mixed signals. 1 minute, come get her. The next, I'm not sure. Things got rocky quickly.
But I do remember times where her mother would call me and I would come try to bond with her, but I never felt a connection or a bond, even in those attempts to try to connect with Precious.
The courtroom energy spikes, interruptions, side comments, and simmering resentment. Judge Lake steers it back to facts and the question that matters. Is there enough to order a DNA test? Meanwhile, Precious looks like she's holding years of hurt in her jawline. Drama at its finest, folks.
No, wait, I'm 26 years old.
You should be
and I don't know where
addressing
I
your
come
mother.
from.
You should be addressing your mother.
It's about you and my mother because you as
Well,
a
I'm
grown
here.
man, you as
I'm here. Where's your mother?
a responsible person.
Judge Lake digs into history, responsibility, and credibility. You can feel the court weighing claimed in practice versus father in biology. Precious's side looks ready with receipts, names, dates, memories. Mr. Christian, quiet, measured, and still in denial.
What happened? You had a blood test already?
I took a blood test and the test came back 99.8% that me and her mother didn't possess the proper gene in order to create Precious.
We get the legal clarity moment, explanations of what a DNA test can and can't tell you, probabilities versus exclusions. Cue the drum roll because this is heading straight for science and science does not play favorites.
99.8% not the father. Are you sure that's what you saw?
I'm sure.
Because what paternity tests usually measure is the probability of paternity.
Okay.
So with that said,
More history tumbles out, child support noise, canceled support, and a timeline that never quite lines up emotionally for Precious. Just look how crushed she is. That heartbreak is palpable. She wanted a dad. She got a question mark.
The result will be an exclusion with a 0% probability paternity, not a 99 point whatever percent that he's not. It would be that kind of percentage if he were.
Judge Lake orders DNA testing. You can feel the collective exhale. Finally, a plan. Precious stares straight ahead like she's bracing for a tidal wave. Mr. Christian nods, cautious, almost relieved that the talking will stop and the truth will speak.
point the child support was canceled. You no longer were responsible for child support.
It was canceled because his rights were terminated, and I went to foster care. Oh my God, thank you. When I was 12.
Back in court for results day, Precious says she just wants relief. No more wondering who she is. That line hits like a truck. Identity is not a light switch. It's a lifetime. Everyone sits up, and even Mr. Christian seems tense.
And we will return here to get the results. Are we clear?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court is adjourned. We are reconvening in the case of...
Judge Lake lays the groundwork. Lab, chain of custody, the whole nine. You can hear a pin drop. Jerome has the envelope. Precious is holding her breath. Auntie's eyes are locked on the bench, and Mr. Christian's shoulders haven't moved in a minute.
Relief? No matter what it says, I'm gonna be relieved. I'm gonna know.
You hear this, Mr. Christian. Does it break your heart to hear it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Here it is, the moment we've all been waiting for. In the case of Precious Christian, it has been determined who you can hear the bomb drop before the results are read.
In the case of Christian versus Christian, when it comes to 26-year-old Precious Christian, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Christian, you are not the father.
Imagine showing up to paternity court with a wedding on the calendar and a DNA test holding the RSVP. That's Ms. Lohman and Mr. Mitchell. Engaged, arguing, and praying, Little London proves they're a forever family. Stakes? Huge. If he's not the father, next month's wedding is off. Tension is baked in from the first gavel tap. Drama overload already.
Ms. Lohman, you are in court today hoping and praying your fiancé, Mr. Mitchell, is the biological father of your daughter, London.
Right away, Judge Lake lays it out clean. Love and hope aren't evidence, conception dates are. You can feel Ms. Lohman wanting this to work so badly, but the court wants facts, not feelings. I mean, just look at that reaction. Hopeful eyes versus courtroom reality check. Things got rocky quickly.
Got together. I was very happy. We got engaged January of last year, and if London is not to become of Mr. Mitchell.
Backstory time, and whew, it's messy. They were best friends in high school, he moved in with her family, and yes, she already had a boyfriend. Pool kiss, couch kiss, and then it escalated. Can anyone else feel the tension rising here? This is the kind of we'll just keep it secret plan that never stays secret.
Terrible background, and I wanted to help him and save him from that. So I went home and I spoke to my mother and my dad about it. I was like, can we do something about it?
She admits it. The kissing didn't stop there. No protection. Meanwhile, the boyfriend never found out. You could cut this tension with a knife. Everyone's faces say, oh, this is going to be a long day. Talk about messy.
I let it continue, and we ended up having sex.
All right. And so, Mr. Mitchell, do you remember when your feelings for Ms. Lohman?
Then the pregnancy bomb drops. Mr. Mitchell's thinking, mine, his, what? And Mrs. Lohman confesses she tried to believe it was the ex's. The mental gymnastics here deserve a gold medal. I mean, look at Mr. Mitchell's face. Confused, hopeful, terrified, drama at its finest, folks.
So what was that situation like?
He never found out, and to this day, he still doesn't know.
He does not know to this day that you were also sleeping with Mr. Mitchell.
Right, Your Honor.
Was this just a one-time thing when you all...
When the doctor estimates conception, mid-October, she retraces dates, and suddenly Mr. Mitchell seems most likely. But the judge reminds her, it's not a numbers game. One time can make a baby. Somewhere, Math just walked out of the courtroom.
And I got to looking back at the dates, and I had had sex with Mr. Mitchell more times than I had sex with my ex. I had sex with Mr. Mitchell about every day and only once or twice with my ex.
Even so, she tells him there's a possibility London is his and points to features after birth. Same eye color, same vibe. He counters. Blue eyes not equal to paternity. The gallery collectively side eyes. Features battles are undefeated entertainment in this courtroom.
Because I looked at the dates, and then after she was born, I was like, Mr. Mitchell, she looks just like you. I was like, she has your eyes, the same exact eye color.
But just because she has blue eyes and blonde hair doesn't mean she's...
Mr. Mitchell was in the delivery room, stayed supportive, but didn't sign the birth certificate because, fair, mom was still unsure. Responsible move, awkward situation. You can feel the couple wanting clarity so badly.
And the baby starts to develop and you start comparing features.
Yes, Your Honor.
And so then that furthers your belief that Mr. Mitchell is the child's father?
Yes, Your Honor.
Cue the she has your eyelashes argument. Her ex had little to no eyelashes. Mr. Mitchell's are long, and London's are too. I love a good eyelash exhibit. Fashion Week meets Family Court. Mr. Mitchell's like, she's a girl, bruh.
My ex had little to no eyelashes. Mr. Mitchell has extremely long, thick eyelashes, and my daughter London does as well.
She's a girl. She can just get it.
Yeah.
Okay, just because she's a girl doesn't mean anything.
She got long lashes.
Mr. Mitchell's cousin steps in with the tough love, overlap, doubts, and the fear he's being taken advantage of because he'll do what's right. You can practically hear Judge Lake thinking, let's find the truth before this gets even messier.
He's being taken advantage of.
I believe that she knows that Jonathan is going to do what is right, loves the baby, and he is going to step up and be the father that she needs.
Judge Lake asks the critical question, are your beliefs rooted in dates or just love? That shift in the room is palpable. If your heart could testify, it would. But today, only the science can. Drama overload.
The point is this, you say you love this man, and you say you truly believe he's London's biological father.
Then the curveball. The ex disappeared, blocked her, and ghosted her whole family. Meanwhile, the engagement happened under a bridge, romantic, but with a storm cloud overhead. The fairy tale is on pause until we get answers.
We don't know where he's at.
He will not talk to me. He has told all his friends, do not let them. He won't let me get in contact with them to get in contact with him. I've tried, just...
All right, deep breath, time for results. Mr. Mitchell has bonded with London, but doubts are real. Judge Lake reaches for the envelope. Can someone pass the tissues, please?
So he proposed to you, and you said yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
Even in spite of this paternity question?
Yes, Your Honor. The paternity was in the very back of my mind.
How old was London when you proposed?
I was still pregnant with London.
In the case of Lohman versus Mitchell, when it comes to 10-month-old London, Mr. Mitchell.
In the case of Lohman versus Mitchell, when it comes to 10-month-old London, Leona Lohman, it has been determined by this court. Mr. Mitchell, you are not the father.